Hey guys, it's Jenna here. Welcome back to my channel. So I guess this is going to be kind of like a part 2 to the videos I started yesterday. Or I guess this morning for you guys, because I just posted it this morning. I am going to be going through my read books. And I think I'm even more stressed about this because I keep things for so long. Because I'm always like, oh, I might want to reread this. And like, I like this book, so that means I have to keep it. I've only ever unhauled books I actually did not like. So, or like, unless they were books I rented from the library or books I passed on to other people to read, they're all still here. So, first we're going to be focusing on the hardcovers. I do have another shelf over there. There are going to be a couple books that are not going to be touched, aka the Holy Grail up here and my reorganized on the other shelf, which is why we're starting here. First, I'm just going to start by taking all the collectibles and knickknacks off of here. Oh, do we want a kitty cameo? She does not. Say hello! No? Feisty little thing. You fooled them into thinking you weren't just cuddling with me? The audacity! So yes, we are going to take everything off, and I'm going to try to be brutal with it. I actually am this time. If it's something I actually don't think I'm going to reread, or something I haven't thought about in a while, why do I like want to cry right now? Is it because it's like an era ending, or like, where are these coming from? Okay. Let's get into it. So first are these two. The X-Hex is super cute, and I did want to reread this, so I'm going to keep it up around for a little bit, but I'm going to put it on the Death Row shelf. I'm creating a show for all my Death Row books, who it's like, I'm going to read them one more time, and then they're either going to be some of my new favorite books, or they're getting unhauled after I read them one more time. So, or read them for the first time in some cases. So this is my copy of New Moon. It's really beat up. I literally just want to see if this is the same length as my one up there, because like, do you see the size difference? I'm just curious. I just want to like flip through it and see if there's anything different about it. I don't know. These two, I'm keeping this. I am keeping this, and I am going to reread this soon. I remember really liking this book, so I think I'm going to keep this one. I do want this series. Okay. So here's the thing. I actually really love this book. I just like don't foresee myself actually like going through the motions of rereading it. So I am going to let it go. Ugh. Keeping this is one of my new favorite YA series, and I actually I'm thinking about kind of doing a reread, but it might just be of this book. I couldn't remember which one was the sequel. I might just do a reread of this one before I read Court, and I think there's another book coming out soon. Keeping Daisy Jones in the Six, and keeping Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. I love the series, and I also got my mom to enjoy it with me, so that was nice. This book meant a lot to younger me, so I'm going to keep it around for now, but if I go through my shelves again in the future, and I still have not had an urge to like really think about I was just thinking about this book earlier, so I'm going to keep it. This is my hardcover copy of Dorothy Must Die. I'm just trying to figure out, because I don't have a complete set of either hardcover or paperbacks. It's like usually a couple of each. So this one's gonna go in like its own pile off to the side until I can decide. 5 Feet Apart, it was a good read, but I'm not gonna reread it, so I'm just gonna unhaul it. Ariadne, I just bought this, but I didn't enjoy it that much, so I think I'm going to unhaul it. It feels so wrong for me to be unhauling books that I actually got through. 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is not going anywhere, and neither is this. This is actually one that I plan to reread eventually. An Emotion of Great Delight is staying put. I want to reread that book. I decided that I wanted to read it the second I finished it. I was like, I gotta read this again. It needs to be appreciated deeper. So we're actually going to leave these off the shelves because I am going to reorganize my shelves. I don't know if I'm going to keep it in a second part or leave it in this part. I guess it just depends on how long this gets. But I am going to do a time lapse, I think, of just me reorganizing all my shelves. So while I'm down here, I'm just going to leave them off the shelves. Oh no. Paperback, I just bought this from Half Price Books, so I really shouldn't have, though. That was kind of dumb, wasn't it? I mean, now I only have one. But I guess it'll look good on my blue shelf, so I'll keep it, but it needs to go on the other shelf. Vespertine, I think I am going to keep around. Hunger Games, I am going to keep around, but I want it to go on a different shelf. I want it to go with my older favorites. Circe's not going anywhere. Love this book. Six of Crows isn't getting unhauled. I just want to put it on my TBR shelf because I hardly remember it. And I still haven't read Crooked Kingdom. Do I not own Crooked Kingdom? Since when? I could have sworn I owned Crooked Kingdom. Do you guys remember if I owned that? It's not anywhere. It doesn't exist. That's weird. Bizarre. This I want to keep around. I did enjoy this. Ugh. This one, I think we know how I feel about this book, but I did just buy all of its sequels, so I'm gonna try to reread the series one time, like one more time, and if I can't get through it, or it's just not piquing my interest, the whole series is going bye-bye, because I've struggled through some of Renee Audier's works before. I love her first series, but The Flame in the Mist could not get on the bandwagon at all. This one, it's finally time. Yeah. I remember this book upset me. Actually, yes, it's going. It's going. This, I'm having mixed feelings about. Because I remember really liking this, but I don't want to keep it if I don't. Right, she has those illusions that are getting murdered. Beautiful book, and I really remember enjoying this, but I think I'm going to get rid of it because I don't think it has any sequels, and I just don't foresee myself reading it again. I'm gonna keep Survive the Night for now. I actually am going to unhaul Our Dark Duet. I have not thought about finishing this series, nothing. So this series is finally gonna go. To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. We're gonna let it go. I have a really hard time letting pretty books go. This one I'm gonna keep. I actually really enjoyed this book. I'm remembering, I think. This I'm keeping. This is one of my new favorite YA fantasies, and I think the sequel comes out like next month. Rose and the Dagger is staying. Okay, yeah, this is the other book that I need to hold off to the side until I assess what books I have from this series on my paperback shelf. Heretics Anonymous. This was cute. This was funny. I remember liking it, but I'm gonna unhaul it because I don't think I'm ever gonna read it again. No Exit. This is staying. This is still one of the most memorable thrillers I've ever read. A lot of people think it's like cheesy, weird. I don't know. I don't care. Me and my mom were boggled by this book, if you will. And I didn't know that they made this into a movie until I saw it on Hulu. And me and Rachel watched it, and Rachel liked it too. So, yeah. A Very Large Expanse of Sea is staying. However, I don't think Sadie is staying. I think this is going to go. Because I had really high expectations for this, but it just fell a little bit short to where I thought it would. Crush is staying. I think I'm going to unhaul On the Come Up. I really loved this story. I just didn't love it as much as The Hate U Give. The Hate U Give will always have like a special place in my soul. Eleanor and Park. It's staying. This, though, I think I want to get rid of this one. Because I remember being so confused by the ending. And, like, nothing made sense in my head about it. So, maybe I'll put it on death row and give it one more shot. And then unhaul it. The Silent Patient, that's staying. We Were Liars. Why would you do this to me? Yeah, I think I want to keep this book. This threw me for a loop. Put me through the 7 stages of grief. Keeping this because, like I said, I still want to try to reread that series. I thought I had all of the sequels, but it turns out I just had the second book, so... I literally could have sworn... I feel like I have books missing. Or, like, am I just convincing myself that I had books that I never actually had? Like, what is happening here? I don't know. If you're not arguing with your relatives over Roe versus Wade being overturned, what are you doing? Keep getting Facebook notifications. This is staying. Oh, creeped me out. This is staying. You know, and I actually, my Caraval series, I'm keeping. Don't at me. So I actually spared the sequel of this from being unhauled, but I think I'm actually going to go back and unhaul it. Because the more I'm thinking about it, the less I've thought about this series, and yeah. And then now Six of Crows has a spot. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And then I just have the Three Dark Crowns series. 2 Dark Crowns. Hang on, let me put them in order. Is that in order? Yes, I think. So I have this series. This series is still super memorable for me. I remember this was like one of the first series where I was like hounding for release dates. So yeah, I'm keeping this one. And that concludes this shelf, because all we have up here is Twilight, Shatter Me, Stalking Jack the Ripper, Cruel Prince, and then Sarah J. Maas. So all of that's staying. I ended up getting rid of 1, 2, 12. Pretty good. Pretty good. So yes, now we will commence. I'm gonna scooch everything over. We're gonna do my paperbacks. I do have some hardcovers over there, not many, but I still do have some, so let's go into that, I guess. I have a feeling, I don't know, we'll see. Hello, and welcome to my final bookshelf. Just me, like, looking at my bookshelves, I'm like, whoa, these are getting a little empty. So, first and foremost, we have my Rick Riordan shelf. I'm going to go ahead and keep the Trials of Apollo, Magnus Chase, Percy Jackson, but I think I actually am going to unhaul the Ardor Shah series. They were cute, but I'm just, like, not as attached to these, and Magnus Chase is still something that I have to read. So I think I'm actually going to move this over to my TBR shelf so I do not forget to read it. And yes, I think I'm keeping the rest of this. Don't worry, all this is getting moved later anyways, so I'm just trying to condense what I'm keeping versus not keeping. I'm kind of actually on the fence about my Miss Peregrine books. I'm gonna keep them for now. I am going to unhaul this series, I think. I might put it on death row and read it one more time. But I have not thought about this series in years. And this was like the only other series besides Three Dark Crowns that I was like avidly waiting for the next book to release. So I might try to read it again and see how I feel about it. Guys, I'm like getting sad. It really is like an era coming to an end. It's not necessarily like getting out of YA. It's just like realizing that some things that used to be your favorite don't appeal to you anymore. Because like I still read YA and I still have YA in my TBR. But I guess it's just the feeling of falling out of love with certain books you thought you'd love forever. That is the worst part of it. So we're going to move this up a little bit, actually. Okay. This is staying. I don't think I actually want the arc of this anymore. I don't know. It is in really good condition. I might keep it. But I know for sure I am unhauling this. This was a reverse harem. Jocelyn, don't fight me. It just was not my favorite. I'm keeping the selection series. You can't stop me. However, the match series I am going to get rid of, as well as I remember loving these books. The Delirium trilogy. I'm getting rid of these too. Book hoarder panic. Okay. This is the hardest shelf because like all of my old favorites are on here. Okay, which means Pandemonium is also going. Here's book 2. We're gonna decide what to do with these. Matched is going. I'm trying not to panic. I still love this series, so we're keeping the Unenchanted series, even though literally nobody knows about these books. And I absolutely hate the new covers published for these because they're independently published. And they changed the covers. These ones, I actually really loved. The new ones, hideous. I don't like them. Oh, I'm gonna miss having like a shit ton of books. I sound like Jocelyn. Same disability, different fonts. We Are the Ants, I think I'm gonna get rid of. I liked it, but it wasn't like, it didn't like touch my soul to a point where that book is like my prized possession. I'm gonna get rid of my copy of Roomies. This thing is just busted to shit, and if I ever want to reread it, I'm just gonna get a new copy. This thing is beat. We're not even thinking about touching The Fault in Our Stars. The Way I Used to Be, this can go. Mosquito Land. I remember it's about like trauma. Oh yeah, I remember, but we're gonna get rid of it because I don't need to be crying over everything. On Honeymooners, The House on the Cerulean Sea, Song of Achilles, The Hating Game, that's all standing. Sadie, this copy of Yellow Brick War is going because I have it in hardcover, signed. Crossed is going. Okay. And we still have 2 shelves to go, so it's time to move you down, right? Oof. Oh, brother. Do you see the issue I'm seeing right here? I forgot I had 2 sets of Twilight. Oh no. That's no bueno. I didn't want to get rid of Twilight. Okay, so these 3 books are recent reads that I plan on keeping. Oh no. I liked Ramona Blue, but I don't really feel like keeping it around. These are staying. Don't worry, the cats are just fighting. Maze Runner, I can't bear to touch it, so we're just gonna leave that there. This book, Two Princes of Summer by Nessa Letter. This is an independently published book. This is actually getting put on death row because it was alright. But I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be really honest, okay? Most of you probably already know this. Clearly, I bought this for the cover. Like, it's freaking beautiful. We know I have problems, same disability, different fonts, you know, all that jazz. So even though the book wasn't that great, I am keeping it because the cover is still pretty and I want to give it a second chance. And if I don't like it enough to get the sequel, then it has to go, unfortunately. So, death row. There's Someone Inside Your House. I remember liking this. It's going on death row. I'm going to read it one more time in the fall, and then I think I'm probably going to unhaul it. Unless it's like absolutely amazing. And I'm going to be like, okay, I'll keep you. But, you know, we're trying to thin the herd. I'm going to get emo over my Twilight books. Oh no. This was my first copy. These were the first copies I read. Well, if I can have 2 copies of Sarah J. Maas, if Jocelyn can have 12 copies of Pride and Prejudice, I should be able to have 2 sets of Twilight, right? These are my first copies, and I don't want to part with my hardcovers because I customized them. Don't look at me like that. really hope Danielle isn't watching this because I look like this. I've never thought about picking it up. I feel like this is gonna really piss me off if I read it because I hate reading old words that make my stupid little brain hurt. So I'm actually gonna unhaul Edith Hamilton's mythology. I have so many other mythologies that are way more fun for my idiotic brain to handle. Okay. By Your Side by Casey West is going. It was cute, but it's just gonna go for now. Selection series is staying. To All the Boys I've Loved Before is staying for now. Colleen Hoover's staying. I actually don't. My Heart and Other Black Holes. I don't even remember reading this. But I think I want to reread it. It sounds absolute. No! No, Cleo, no! That's my Titanic hood, you little rat. I recently bought this book. It really didn't blow me away, no pun intended. So I'm gonna haul Credence by Penelope Douglas. Why have to choose? Why choose? Why not have all? Jocelyn, I know you're gonna approve of that statement. It's time to let this bad bitch go. This put me through a lot when I was younger, okay? Okay. And I unhauled the sequel and I'm like, oh, but if I just keep the first one, no, just get freaking rid of it. Delirium's going. Wow, what a milestone we've hit. Okay, 50 Shades of Staying. Looks like we got smut. Oh, this can go. The Savage song can go. I wasn't all that very impressed with it when I read it. Nobody come for me. And I think the rest is staying. Yep, probably. So, I mean, we got rid of a decent chunk, but nothing like jaw-dropping. So, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait. I think we got rid of 21 though. Not too shabby. Hey! Hey! You little rat. Leave it alone. No, Cleo. Samira. Samira Bell! Anyways, there's my unhaul. Hello guys, so it is actually the next day. It is currently Saturday. I'm about to start getting ready for work, but I forgot to film a time lapse of me redoing my shelves. I started it last night, got sidetracked, picked it up again pretty late at night, and then just decided to finish it this morning. So I'm sorry that I forgot the time lapse, but I will of course give you guys a tour of my shelves. I'm going to try to do that pretty quickly so I can relax a little bit before work. So here we go. So we have my red paperback shelves. So we have like book sleeves, Funko Pops, plushies from Fade Crate, all my big books, like collector's editions basically. And then we just decided to go rainbow because I love my rainbow paperbacks. And I really love how this shelf turned out. And this bottom, so yeah, I have so much room. Those two bottom shelves are empty. It just has my knickknacks on it. And you can see my leg. So there's that shelf. And then up here is my new romance / smut shelves. I did black at the top because I have a lot of black covers in my wish list. And then rainbows down here. I figured I would separate them just because they were too crowded all on one shelf. So I love this shelf. Next, we have my red hardcovers. We have my Harry Potter shrine still at the top. And then I actually went rainbow with this. I finally broke up my Sarah J Maas shrine and everything, and I just went rainbow. And this one, I'm not as happy with because, as you can see, like down with the white books down there that I have kind of cluttered back there, I ran out of space. So I still have more red hardcovers than anything. And I have an idea in mind to do like a horizontal stack, either like right up at the front or right in the middle of every shelf. And then that would create more space here and here. So I'm thinking of doing that in the future when I have more books I need to put on this shelf, just to kind of create more space so that I don't have to keep mixing and matching shelves like I did before. There's poetry. I only got rid of one poetry collection, and that was Please Don't Go Before I Get Better. Just wasn't the biggest fan, and I couldn't honestly recall if I read some of these in the middle. I know I read Swimming Lessons by Lily Reinhart, and I read my Amanda Lovelace down here, but other than that, I couldn't remember if I had read anything else, so they stayed. And here's how these rainbow shelves turned out. I feel fine about them. I don't love this shelf as much as I used to. And then down here is all of my Death Row paperbacks. And then that's just extra storage right now so that my floor wasn't so cluttered. It's kind of nice to have that extra space. So that's how that turned out. Oh, before I forget, here's my little Jocelyn copy of Buddy Reads we're doing. I might be missing some. I'll have to ask her. My Cassandra Clare shelf plus Red Queen box set. All that staying. And then here is my hardcover TBR shelf. And I mostly just had to re-rainbowify this and shuffle things around. So that's the last shelf of this. So then this bottom shelf, that's all just my Death Row TBR books. My hardcovers, my Death Row hardcovers. So I'm really liking how it turned out, actually. I'm glad I did this Unhaul, because now I have so much more space and it's very nice. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think of my new shelves, and if you're happy with how they turned out. I'm honestly pretty content. There's a couple shelves that I wish were like a slightly different way, but overall I'm pretty happy with the project. Like, I did it kind of on a whim. So yeah, obviously I do have some favorite shelves. I love how this one turned out. I love how my paperback red books turned out, and I actually do kind of like how my hardcover TBR turned out. Overall, I think they work really nice together, and now everything's somewhat in order. I know what I've read and what I haven't read, and it's even kind of separated by genre. Anything up here is all romance or smut, and anything on that shelf is all mostly fantasy, contemporary, stuff like that. So again, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time for a brand new video.